So this idea that all human things are valuable just because they're human and should engage our concern for that reason. And I agree, my view is resolutely not humanist. Instead, it is what I would call naturalist. So it starts from the idea that what's valuable in human life is a matter of our human nature, our capacities, and that narrative art has a role in the expression of those capacities in a good life as a part of what we might call culture. But instead of thinking about culture as something autonomous, we think about culture and cultural products as how our nature expresses itself in certain times and places. So cultural products don't stand outside ethical evaluation, even if they stand at some remove from our own cultural and historical context. So this enterprise of adopting this ethical stance towards literature, because it's so important, because these literary products and narrative art generally can do harm to us as well as good for us. This whole stance towards narrative art is very, very complicated, and you have to undertake it in a spirit of humility. I'm not recommending that people go out and decide what are the bad books and say, I'm not going to go anywhere near that. But I think just because we want to say that, because we want to make space for cultural pluralism or relativity, just, in some ways, understanding that, texts have lives and then they have afterlives, for instance, through the history of readers that come to them. We can acknowledge all of that and still say at the bottom of it that human beings as such are very deeply affected by these cultural products and shaped by them, and we should acknowledge their ethical power.